We're looking at a large single cell.
No, you're not going.
Get your goddamn hand off. What are we gonna do? There's a man there! Call us out the window and your quarantine.
Life is imagined as a tense, claustrophobic science fiction horror film that explores humanity's curiosity colliding with the unknown, where discovery quickly turns into survival. The story is built around the idea that life beyond Earth is not something meant to be understood easily, and that even the smallest form of it can become the greatest threat. From the very beginning, the film establishes an atmosphere of isolation and dread, placing the audience in a confined environment where escape is impossible and the stakes are irreversible. The story unfolds aboard an international space station orbiting Earth, carrying a diverse crew of astronauts and scientists from different backgrounds and nations. Each member represents humanity's collective hope, intellect, and ambition. Their mission is historic, to study a soil sample collected from Mars that may contain the first confirmed evidence of extraterrestrial life. The crew is highly trained, disciplined, and bound by trust. Yet beneath their professionalism lies quiet tension, knowing they are handling something no human has ever encountered before. At the center of the narrative is the discovery itself. The Martian sample appears dormant at first, lifeless and harmless. The scientists carefully stimulate it in a controlled laboratory environment, applying heat, oxygen, and nutrients. Slowly, the organism begins to respond. What starts as a microscopic, single-cell structure shows signs of rapid growth and adaptability. The excitement among the crew is restrained but undeniable. This moment represents the greatest scientific achievement in human history, proof that humanity is not alone in the universe. As the organism develops, it reveals intelligence far beyond expectations. It reacts to stimuli, adapts instantly, and shows problem-solving abilities. The crew names it, treating it almost like a fragile newborn, unaware that they are nurturing something that does not share human limitations or morality. The film uses these early moments to build suspense rather than fear, allowing curiosity to overshadow caution. The tone shifts when the organism escapes containment during a routine experiment. What was once confined to a small lab space becomes a living presence within the station. Its biology is unlike anything known on Earth, combining traits of muscle, nerve, and bone into a single adaptive form. It grows rapidly, feeding on energy, oxygen, and organic matter. The crew realizes too late that the organism is not just surviving, it is hunting. Panic does not erupt immediately. Instead, the film emphasizes realism and restraint. The crew attempts to recapture the organism using protocols, sealing compartments, and cutting power where necessary. Communication with Earth becomes limited due to the urgency of the situation, forcing the crew to rely on their own judgment. This isolation intensifies the horror as help is impossibly far away. One by one, the crew members face the consequences of underestimating the organism. Encounters are sudden, brutal, and shocking, emphasizing vulnerability rather than heroism. The organism's attacks are efficient and merciless, using the station's zero-gravity environment to its advantage. Each loss is deeply felt, grounding the film emotionally and reinforcing the cost of curiosity without restraint. The cast is portrayed with emotional depth, showing not just fear, but guilt and responsibility. Some crew members struggle with the realization that their pursuit of knowledge may lead to humanity's destruction. Others cling to hope, believing the organism can still be contained or destroyed. These conflicting perspectives create internal tension, making survival a psychological battle as much as a physical one. As the organism continues to evolve, it becomes clear that it is learning from every encounter. It adapts to weapons, temperature changes, and environmental controls. The space station, once a symbol of human ingenuity, becomes a labyrinth of danger. Tight corridors, sealed hatches, and limited oxygen heighten the sense of claustrophobia. The film makes effective use of silence, broken only by alarms, labored breathing, and the distant hum of machinery. The plot deepens as the remaining crew uncovers the organism's true nature. It is not malicious by intention, but driven by survival on an instinctual level far more advanced than human biology. This revelation adds moral complexity. forcing the characters to question whether they are dealing with a monster or a life form simply doing what it was designed to do. This question lingers even as the body count rises. The emotional core of the film lies in sacrifice. Crew members make impossible choices, sealing themselves in compartments, exposing themselves to danger, and abandoning any hope of returning to Earth. These moments are quiet and devastating, emphasizing bravery without glorification. The film avoids triumphant heroism, instead portraying survival as painful and uncertain. As the situation spirals out of control, Earth issues a final directive. The organism must not reach the planet under any circumstances. This command reframes the story from survival to containment at all costs. The remaining crew faces the horrifying reality that saving humanity may require sacrificing themselves. The weight of this responsibility becomes overwhelming, pushing characters to their emotional breaking points. The climax unfolds with a desperate plan involving escape pods and misdirection. The crew attempts to lure the organism away from Earth's trajectory, using themselves as bait. Tension peaks as the plan partially succeeds, but not without devastating consequences. The organism proves once again that it cannot be easily fooled, adapting even in the final moments. The ending is bleak and haunting. Survival is ambiguous and victory feels hollow. The final scene suggests that humanity's greatest fear is not invasion, but its own inability to recognize limits. The organism's fate is left unsettlingly open, reinforcing the film's message that curiosity without humility can be fatal. Visually, the film is grounded and immersive, relying on practical effects, realistic environments, and restrained CGI. The creature design evolves gradually, making each appearance more terrifying than the last. The use of zero gravity enhances the horror, turning every movement into a potential threat. The imagined release of life positions it as a modern sci-fi horror classic, appealing to audiences who appreciate tension, realism, and psychological depth. Rather than relying on jump scares alone, the film builds sustained dread, making viewers feel trapped alongside the characters. The trailer is imagined as minimal and unsettling, focusing on silence, breathing, and brief glimpses of the organism's evolution. It avoids revealing too much, relying instead on atmosphere and fear of the unknown to build anticipation. Overall, life is portrayed as a cautionary tale about exploration, responsibility, and the fragile boundary between discovery and destruction. It asks a haunting question: if humanity finds life beyond Earth, will it be ready for the consequences? By blending science fiction with horror and emotional realism, the film delivers a chilling reminder that not all discoveries are meant to be made, and not all life welcomes being found.